All right, Gemini, let's talk about your week next week. This is for the week of the solstice. I'm going to look at love, money, and I'll do a little wild card reading. So, what is going on for Gemini? Happy birthday to those of you who still have birthdays left. Uh, and as we get into next week, all the birthdays will be done. So, anyway, hey, Gemini, hope you're doing great. Hope everything is going great. So, what is going on for Gemini? Feel free to swap around the characters as always. I could be talking to a cross watcher. Thank you to the guides who are bringing this information. Enter one step forward, one step onward. Time to take some steps forward, my darling. See through the perfectly purple lens of your galactic destiny. Okay. Your words create worlds. Perfect for Gemini. Pay attention to what you're saying, the stories you're telling. What story do you have running around in your head? It's activating or it's limiting. Okay, it's limiting what you're doing. It could be you're telling us, everybody tells themselves stories and everybody acts out the stories that they tell, that they believe to be true about ourselves and what we're doing here and who we are and all of that. What story are you telling about yourself that is keeping you small or keeping you in a place that isn't ultimately for you? What are you saying? Be careful of even joking about things in a way that is disparaging. I used to love self-deprecating senses of humor. I don't like them anymore because I just feel like people are cutting themselves up into ribbons using self-deprecating, and it can be fine. Like, you can use that sense of humor every once in a while, but just be mindful of it, okay? So what about for love? What is going on for Gemini for love? Okay, do it this way. Fine, fine, fine. Seven of Cups underneath, the Death card, the Seven of Swords, the Three of Wands. This is kind of a nice projection. Okay, a nice progression, I was going to say, but if it's a projection, then fine. Depends on how you see this. I feel like some of you are done with some kind of fantasy. We are moving into North Node in Aries, and so like fantasy doesn't live there. Okay, Aries North Node, even if it's not your North Node, Aries North Node is about being bold and really being yourself, being true to yourself. And I just feel, if I said projection, there's a reason for that. I just feel like if you have had rose-colored glasses on about a situation, you got to take them off and put the purple glasses on. Like, let's expand. Let's go to something that really is us or expands us or feels good for us. I just feel like you might be tired of walking a certain path because it has been so limiting. It's time to break out of that. And that can be in your relationships. So Judgment, this is a crossroads. Wow, Ace of Cups, new love coming in. Six of Wands, Tower. Two of Wands, Fool. Page of Cups. This is coming in, people. So some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. I'm seeing Scorpio here. Scorpio also rules the 8th house, and that's about deep emotional commitment, feeling the need to be very vulnerable with one other person, really wanting some deep connection. And that's what's on offer here. But I feel like you have to blow up an old way of doing things if it was an illusion, if it wasn't real, if it was just very surface, or I don't want to dig too deep because what if I find something yucky, okay, in this other person? Like, I don't want to do that. I want to just keep this person in my life. I don't want to dig too deep. Okay, so there is new love on offer here. It's going to require you to take a risk. Okay, Gemini, it's going to require you to take a risk and to make a decision. It could be an ending of a relationship that wasn't deep enough, or the other person can't go deep or isn't interested in that or something like that. If you are on a brand new journey here, the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, the Fool, this is very nice light energy about, like, even though I'm talking about something deep. So this can be one or two things. You could have had a relationship that was very deep with somebody And it turns out it was all an illusion. And so now it wasn't, so that means it wasn't really deep. So now you're like, okay, I got to break away from that. I'm stepping into something that's more authentic, that's more real. I'm not going to do the same thing as before. The tower here is, maybe it's forcing you to go deep. And maybe you were the one who was being surfaced. And I think that could be a shock. I feel like it's almost like you think it's the other person's fault if you're leaving a relationship, but it's not your fault. It's not their fault. That's the wrong word. But you could be blowing up a relationship that you thought was a certain way that wasn't. Okay? That when you get down deep into it, it really wasn't what you thought it was at all. Okay? So Tower, going deep. Hermit, Nine of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. Yeah, I just feel like if something was very structured, or you guys, I mean, this is, Hermit energy is Virgo energy, and King of Pentacles, it's like our day-to-day living was fine, but once you got really down deep into it, was it real? And there's this calling to go towards something more real, more authentic. And this is a very beginning energy of it. So it feels lighter. It feels like, oh my God, what was I dealing with? Why was I even there? Okay, why was I even doing that? So I'm going to go deeper into this. It could be a Virgo, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There's some energy around that, mostly Scorpio and Virgo energy. Okay, so let's look at abundance or money. What's going on for the solstice? This is a solstice energetic shift reading. I also I don't know when you're watching this, but the morning message on Friday, June 16th, is all about the North Node shifting into Aries come this summer. And you can see how that might impact all of this, because I'm talking about it through each of the houses, how it might light up your life, different parts of your life. So if you want to go check out that video, I'll put a little link here if you want to see how your life might change this summer. Okay, so let's look at abundance. We've got the Knight of Cups, King of Swords, King of Pentacles again, the Judgment card again, Eight of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. Wow, Tower again. Tower again. So something that I feel like you have put a lot of time and effort into a certain situation. Maybe that you thought was going to bring about abundance, but if it's too much work, well, if it's too much work for you and the other person isn't really balanced, isn't doing as much, you're the one who's putting in all the time and effort, I think it could blow up. Okay, if you're putting in too much time and effort, there's a little struggle here. Five of Wands, Queen of Swords, right? The Hierophant, that's making commitments. The Emperor, there's Aries energy. The Temperance card, Sag. The Page of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. I feel like you might try to do something new. All right, I feel like you might, if you're in a commitment or in a situation where all of a sudden you're having to do a lot more, I feel like you might want to break free of that and do something that is valuable to you, that's important for you to teach, to learn, to heal, to bring out. This is like stepping into being on your own. You could be stepping into your own business. It's possible that if you work for somebody, there's too much pressure in this job and it's not giving you back enough or something like that. Like you're really seeing a new future for yourself in terms of money and stability. And, this is about you stepping into leadership more even than you do. So the responsibilities are going to require you to level up. Like you can't stay doing a certain task that is way below your pay grade. Okay. I know I said that to somebody just recently. It's so funny that this is, oh, Gemini. Okay. And you can't stay in that anymore. It's really got to push you. And so how do you react to that? Does that like expand you? Does that feel good? Or does that feel like I want to stay in my comfort zone? I think with what's coming in with this solstice energy. It's about new commitments that are going to expand your abundance, but are going to ask more of you. And I think it's the struggle of, there is a struggle here, Five of Wands, a struggle of, I don't want to do more. I just want to get more. If that's true, then that's going to be the rub. And it's not even about doing more. It's about doing something more valuable, something that is bringing more to the table, or something that is pushing things forward. It doesn't have to be more stuff. It doesn't have to be more tasks or anything like that. There is an old story, a business school story that they tell about a factory shut down, and this consultant came in. All the consultants before him had said, it's going to take this many hours, it's going to take this many stuff, and and they were like, okay, whatever. Just want the factory fixed. Just want it now. And so this consultant says, I can fix it for you right now. And the business owner says, oh, okay, how much? And he says, $100,000. And the guy's like, for 5 minutes work? He's like, doesn't matter, 5 minutes. I've learned how to do this all of my life. I'm bringing that expertise to the table. And the guy said, okay, $100,000. You want to get your factory working or not? Right now. I can do it right now. And the owner gives him $100,000, and the guy goes and turns a screw, and the whole place lights up and everything's great. But all those other people were thinking they had to assess the whole system and then relearn all these things that this guy already knew. So in many ways, you're being pushed into more of a leadership role than you have been before, but it's a breakthrough. Okay, so it's not about more tasks. It's about finding the one thing that needs to be tweaked and doing it. And that comes from experience. That comes from clear sight, Queen of Swords here. It's come from knowledge, all right? And it comes from an awareness of your own self-esteem. You feel that this information is valuable. It is. You just have to figure out how to deliver it in a way that's not grinding you into a fine powder. Okay, Gemini, that's an important thing. Now, a little wild card. We'll go deeper into that in terms of what's going to come from that in the extended. Let's talk about the wild card. Any wild card information? This is about big choices here. Two of Wands, kind of tying this together. Two of Wands, Three of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands, Nine of Cups, Nine of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. So ultimately, I like this. You're finding your tribe. You're finding your right place. You might be leaving a job where you've like outgrown it or something like that, and going into business for yourself, and then finding your tribe. This is a fated and destined time for Gemini to really align with the new energy of who they are, going deep with someone in relationship, and then being free to be yourself. There's two towers showing up here, tower, and the Fool. This is about taking some bold steps forward, okay, for Gemini. So I'm going to go deeper into this reading. The fated and destined Wheel of Fortune here. So this is something that's really going to blow your mind. All right. So link is in the description box if you want to continue with me. I'll see you over there, Gemini. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.